Charlemagne, we live. You're um it's like a test video, so I don't even know if I'm gonna put this shit up. It kinda depends on how it goes. Um I've been here fighting with doing these freaking reactions. Nigga said freaking. Um for like it has to have been like an hour now, like just fighting with it back and forth, trying to get everything set up right. I'm hoping that this works. You feel me? If it don't, then you niggas won't see this video anyway. But if you're seeing it, then it works. So thank you kindly. The camera quality ain't the greatest right now. I'm using my laptop camera. Um, I've been trying to get my regular camera to hook up to my laptop too. I've been fighting with this shit for a cool minute. Um, I actually bought like the wrong cord, so I'm sending that back. Hopefully things will be up and running by tomorrow. When I get the right cord, nigga said card. I get the right cord and I could you feel me, really jump in my Burkington with this reaction shit. But for now, I'm gonna jump into this Damian Lillard media day shit. Who is this black guy? Is this the coach? That must be the coach. I don't pay attention to the Bucks, so I don't know. Um, how y'all feel about this Dame trade before we get into this shit? I think prior to the Celtics trading for Drew Holiday, they were like the head and shoulders favorite because they didn't even really give up that much. Dame is an upgrade over Drew Holiday. The only problem is that Drew Holiday is an upgrade over Marcus Smart. So, it's like, well, I don't know. But if they don't make the East, if it's not them two in the Eastern Conference Finals, somebody choked or somebody got hurt. But I'm a Warriors fan, so I don't even really give a shit about this. But I just want to see what's going on. I seen the clip already of him talking about defense, but I didn't watch it. I just seen like what they call that shit, an anecdote, nigga, where like they pull like a quote or some shit, and he was like, he's serviceable on defense. I'm like, nigga, I was a Blazers fan too for years. I got tired of them losing though, so I was just like, I'm gonna just let it go. But I was a Blazer fan for years, so I used to love Dame, and I still do love Dame. He one of my favorite players. But yeah, I'm a Warriors fan through and through. So let's get into this bullshit. Blood over here looked like a big ass kid, yo.
I would love for Damian Lillard to step up here and introduce him to the Milwaukee Bucks organization.
Big ass kid.
Coach, thank you.
Why he dapping this nigga like this the first time he met him? He look good in the Bucks jersey though. I ain't gonna lie, no homo. The green and white look good on him. Oh, you know who he looked like? He looked like, damn, fuck, I just had it. I literally just had it, like one of them big-eyed cartoon characters from some movie. I cannot think of it off the top of my head. Big ass eyed cartoon character, yo, big ass kid. Who he look like? Fuck off the stage, man. Oh, they gave this nigga a chair. He ain't even sitting behind a joint. Waves on swim, so they hate on him, nigga.
It's hot. First of all, I want to thank Wes, thank John, Milt, Griff. I appreciate you guys making this happen. Obviously, I've spent my entire career in Portland, 11 years, long time. So I'm extremely thankful for that organization, that city, the fans, for giving me the kind of experience that I had. And I don't think it's a secret how much I want to win, and that's how we got here today. And I think they want to win equally as bad as I do. And I couldn't be more excited. I couldn't be more thankful. for this opportunity to be a part of this organization, to play alongside the best player in the league.
Cap.
It's gonna be.
It ain't Giannis, man. It was Giannis like 2 years ago. Giannis got the Ben Simmons syndrome, where he was the best player 2 years ago, and he's still that same guy. And other niggas have improved. He's not the best player no more.
Fun and
he's still top 3 though, because you really can't do shit with him. But if he hasn't improved on nothing. Meanwhile, Steph is bullying niggas, and Jokic is out here averaging triple doubles. It's not him.
Hospitality that they showed my family. We touched down to a parade. My first time getting traded.
A parade is dick suck. I ain't gonna lie.
So you don't know what to expect, So to walk in,
they doing tricks on to giving this nigga a parade for even getting there. That's they doing tricks.
And to something like that was special. It was a great welcoming, and it's something that I really appreciated. And it only made me more excited to be here and more excited to get to work. So, I'm thankful.
Yeah, about 5,000 attended. You got a good taste of hospitality here in Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. Let's go with Eric.
They gonna be sick if he vote in the playoffs after they did all them tricks on it. They gonna be sick.
With the first question.
Hey, Damian. Eric Name, The Athletic. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Milwaukee. I'm curious, just how have you processed the last 5 days? Like, just the idea of, you mentioned getting traded for the first time, now being in this situation. Just, can you take us through the emotions of all of that?
Yeah, it was definitely a different experience. I was just kind of sitting there in my man cave. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I started to think like, man, it might get to training camp and I might just be sitting and waiting, And then I got that call from my agent. It was like, man, you getting traded to Milwaukee. And I had heard so many different things that I was like, am I really getting traded? And he was like, yeah, they traded you. And I could tell in the seriousness in his voice that it was real. And he was like, I'll let you sit with it for a while. I'll call you back. I'm going to settle some things, and then we'll talk about it. And after we got off the phone, I sat there, and I was like, I'm really moving on. And it became reality for me, and I kind of just started to think, like, my entire family is here. How am I going to pack everything up? I started to panic a little bit, like, it's, first time. And then I wanted to, let my family know. So I started walking around the house, and, like, nobody was there. Everybody was out doing something. I'm calling people, nobody picking up the phone. I was like, man, any other time I'll be able to reach whoever I need to. So I had to sit with it by myself for a while. So when that happened, I just kind of went back to the man cave, and I sat there. And then that was when the calls started coming in, my friends.
I'm rooting for them, though. I'm excited to see them play.
Is it real? Is it true?
It happened.
The NBA keep finding ways every year to try to get me to buy a league pass. I'm skipping this ad, brother. Thank you. But the NBA keep finding ways to make me buy a league pass. I don't think I've ever gotten league pass. I've thought about it a lot of times, though, but I've never gotten it. But you know what the thing is? Every time I think about getting league pass and then I don't get it, all I hear throughout the season is, yo, this shit sucks. Like, games be lagging. Niggas can't even watch certain games. Like, it'd be like, yo, I probably shouldn't even invest that because they not finna give you your bread back. So I be thinking, like, I might allegedly watch illegal streams. Allegedly.
Then I started to think about the team, so it was like, who did I get traded for?
Allegedly.
Who's going to be there? And then I looked it up, and I saw what kind of team I was coming to be a part of, and then that was when the excitement kicked in, just recognizing the opportunity that it is, and just knowing how much I want to win, and going into every season being optimistic and thinking that we got a chance to get it done, and then coming into this situation and knowing that you got an opportunity to do it, the excitement definitely kicked in when I sat with it for a little bit.
Jim
Lazarski, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Yeah. Welcome, Dave. When and why did Milwaukee, I guess, pop up for you as a potential place to go? Like, when did you maybe think about that, and why did that become a place that you were like, okay, I'd be comfortable going there?
It was, I would say, maybe 2 weeks ago. It was just all this talk and, all of these things. And there was a lot of things said that didn't come from me. I hadn't spoke on the situation a whole lot. But as we got into it, my agent called me and he was just like, what about Milwaukee? And obviously Giannis, is public record that I've always mentioned. If I had to team up with one person, it would be him. So when we talked about it, I was like, I would definitely be interested in that, obviously. And
I just
he was
realized
just
this
like,
also.
okay.
I just realized this also means bro ran from the grind. They've been saying that on Twitter, but it just clicked.
And I could
Nigga just, I'm not even gonna. Nah, he did low key pull a KD.
tell he kind of put it in his back pocket. And
He got traded, but I mean, he was trying to go to the Miami Heat. As Mister not running from the grind, that's literally what KD did. But I don't know. Mister, I would never do that. That's literally what he was trying to do.
obviously in these situations,
If them niggas had more than a box of chips to trade for him, he would have been there.
you never control completely, how things end up or where you end up going. So,
So I don't know, Mister
it
Grind.
came about, and it was an option, and it was like, press play. Why not? Why pass up on that type of opportunity? So, it was something that came up, I would say 2 weeks ago, and I was interested in that for sure. And now that we're here, I'm excited for this opportunity.
Vince?
Damn, you brought it up earlier, playing with Giannis. Vince Gill or Yahoo Sports, sorry about that. You're in a situation where you said publicly, you said to Chris, I'm going to a situation where I'm not the best player.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can have the ball in your hands the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. Is that something that appealed to you, that sort of situation where you don't have to carry, but you can still be yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always be myself, and being myself doesn't always mean that, I got to be out front or everything has to be about me. I think because of who I am as a person, the way that I prepare myself, the way that I approach the game, I'm going to find a way to have an impact. And like I said, playing with somebody like Giannis, the kind of attention that he's going to get is only going to make the game easier and more simple for me.
Nah, for
And
real,
I
that
think
shit is gonna be
because of
hell.
the way that
That nigga Giannis be bulldozing John Cena shoulder blocking niggas to the rim, and he got Dame on the 3-point line now. That's crazy.
impose myself when I do play and how I attack games, he's going to
That's
have the
some
kind of
wacky
opportunity
shit,
that I
man.
think he hasn't had as well. So,
Yeah, all that bulldozing he gonna
I mean,
do.
the best thing I could tell you is how exciting it's going to be, how excited I am, and that I'm prepared for it. I don't go into any situation expecting to, for things to be about me.
Yo, in the grand scheme of things, the Bucks really did get like Damian Lillard for a bag of chips. Like they really did. In the grand scheme, like they gave up Drew Holiday, which like this is a top 75 player all time. Whether deservedly or not, I still think Dwight Howard should have been in there over him, but it's a top 75 player all time. And all you had to give up was Drew Holiday and fucking Grayson Allen and a pick in like 30 years, nigga. Who cares? That's really crazy. The Celtics gave up more to get Drew Holiday than they gave up to get Dame, nigga.
So I know the player that he is. I know the player that I am. And I know how to make my presence felt regardless of the role, It's not the same as this level, but when I was in college, I walked into a situation.
Sidebar, can y'all imagine this nigga, Chris Stapps, trying to play center against Embiid? Lord have mercy. They gonna put that nigga Chris Stapps in the grabber by the end of the season, bro. Holy shit.
Situation where it was, upperclassmen, seniors that were like, had been here a couple years. They had been established. They were known around our conference, and I stepped in, and I didn't step on nobody's toes, but I announced my presence, and I announced myself and did what I had to do. It was the same when I got to Portland, LA was an all-star. West was a vocal presence. Batum was like the same. And I stepped in and announced my presence. And that was while understanding that I'm playing with LaMarcus Aldridge, but he also needs me to be who I am, for us to be our full selves and our best selves as a team. So I think this is similar to that, except I'm older. My understanding of it is even better. And I think I'm the best version of myself as a player as well. So I think we'll complement each other really well.
Nah, he definitely is. Bud just dropped 70.
I think he's the kind of guy that he's
Juan.
not going into it worried about being the man or anything like that either. So I think it'll work out perfectly.
He worried about that money,
As
though.
we continue, just a reminder, name and affiliation before you ask your question. Jack, go ahead.
How's it going, Damian? Jack Maloney, CBS Sports. A little bit specifically on that partnership with Giannis, you're one of the best pick and roll guys in the league. It's pretty easy to envision that sort of partnership. Have you thought about that possibility and just what sort of impact you two can have specifically on the pick and roll?
Yeah, I think it's obviously I'm a pick and roll player. I've played a lot of pick and roll in my career. And when I think about playing with him, I was just trying to figure out how do you defend it. You know, I haven't played against a lot of coverages where teams aren't at the level of the screen, whether it's showing, trapping, or just being there to where I got to get a ball up. And I can't imagine them wanting him to have the ball, you know, at the free throw line coming downhill with an advantage. And Chris on the one.
To be honest, you could just foul that nigga though, but that's what I mean. Like, you really could just foul that nigga. And then, like, what y'all doing then? Like, every time, like, we could just foul. Like, if it get to it, we really could just foul that nigga. Know what I mean? Like, you really could just foul him. Because, like, he can't shoot free throws. So, like, it's going to be tough. It is. It is going to be tough. But at some point, you could just foul that nigga. And down the stretch of the game, he's still gonna be trying to get that rock up. So I don't know how that pick and roll is gonna work toward the end of the game. Because like I said, you can't just foul that nigga. You could trap Dame, get the ball out of his hands, and then let Giannis get it and just trap that nigga. Because you know he gonna be trying to hot potato it anyway. He don't want that rock down there down the stretch of the game because he can't shoot free throws. So foul that nigga. Now, it's going to be tough, like, if he kicking the ball out to Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. That's going to be tough. But like I said, up until that point, foul that nigga.
And Brook, you know, you got really good players out there. So I've definitely thought about it, and I just don't know how you handle that.
Foul.
And I think it's going to be something that teams have to put up with and try to figure out. But I'm excited. You know, I think it's going to be a lot of opportunity for me out there because of who he is and vice versa.
Chris.
Chris Haynes, TNT, NBA TV, Bleacher. Dame, now that this move is made, what they laughing at, man?
I have no idea.
Because you his insider, nigga. That's why they laughing.
Yeah, man.
Dame, now that this move has been made, this summer was the first time you were working out and not knowing where you were going to be. Who are you working out for? How were you able to prepare? And, like, because you know years prior, you're working out with a purpose because you know the system. How were you able to prepare yourself for the unknown?
I just try not to think about it too much.
That's actually a good question.
Put pressure on myself about, what system am I going to play in? Where am I going to be? Like I said before, I know if I show up prepared and I show up as myself, I'm going to figure it out. You know, I had that type of confidence in myself in whatever situation. But I think it was just a summer for me where I made my strengths stronger. You know, I kept them as my strengths. And then the things that I feel like I need to tighten up and sharpen up, I took the time to do those things. But I think at this stage of my career, I am who I'm going to be. You know, it's just a matter of how well I can take care of myself, you know, how sharp I can be, and, you know, just whatever that situation was, just being able to get my feet on the ground and then start, you know, locking into it and understand what our purpose is, what's expected of me, what kind of basketball we going to play, what kind of personnel are we going to have. And I think coming into this situation is very, very easy. You know, you look at somebody like Giannis, you look at Chris, you look at Brook, you know, when I looked at the roster, it was very easy for me to make sense of, you know, what my job is going to be.
Move over to this side, Gabe.
Gabe Stoltz, brewhoop.com. Welcome to Milwaukee, Dame.
Appreciate it.
Just curious, you've been here a few days. What have your initial impressions been about the team chemistry and the culture and whatnot, and how do you see that evolving?
I mean, as far as team chemistry, mic check. I'm a rapper too, so check them.
Head ass, that shit not flying in Milwaukee, bro.
When I got here, I could tell right away that it was a family environment.
One scoop of AG1 replaces multiple supplements.
Niggas love saying some shit is a family environment.
High-quality ingredients.
It can't really be a family environment. They just traded a nigga.
I could tell that it was a family environment right away. And just a humble environment. You know, everybody was just chill. It was real calm. And I think when it comes to chemistry, you don't really know until you get out there on the floor.
They got some shitty mics in Milwaukee, man. Damn.
And, you know, stuff starts happening. You know, somebody gets missed while they open. Somebody's not playing. You know, things got to happen for you to understand, like, where does this team really stand? You know, how the chemistry really is. And just looking at the personalities that I've seen so far, it seems like that won't be an issue. You know, I think it'll be pretty good chemistry. But as far as the city, like being embraced like that, it definitely makes you comfortable.
Yeah, because they was doing tricks
on it. You see
on
that you're wanted and people are excited about you being here.
They was doing tricks.
And like I said, man,
It was flip,
a
dip,
lot
and
of it was
reverse and all
unexpected.
that.
I didn't know what to expect. You know, it's been a great couple of days. You know, my family's been really comfortable. You know, I've gotten some work in. You know, I've been around a little bit, so I'm excited, man. Every time I've been to Milwaukee over the course of my career, I just stay in the hotel the whole time because it's like snowing or something like that. So seeing the sun out and, you know, being by the water and stuff like that, it almost, you know, made me smile a little bit like, man, this could be all right. You know what I'm saying? Every time I came here, it was snowing. You know, it was like depressing a little bit. So, you know, I'm excited to be here, man. You know,
I don't know if they like that answer.
Like I said, seeing the opportunity basketball-wise.
Hey, yo, I was depressed every time I pulled up here. But now I seen the sun one time, and I'm like, you know what? This shit might not be that bad. Not for the niggas who just had a parade for you because you got off the plane.
You know, seeing the type of environment that they've created, the type of success that they've had, and knowing that I could bring something that could get us over the hump and have an opportunity to win. I'm definitely excited to be here, and it's been
Like, to be honest, every time I pulled up to this motherfucker, I was just in the hotel. Like, I didn't even see what was going on because it'd be cold as fuck and, like, snowing and shit, so I ain't even really do all that. Now your ass got to live here. I don't know. I don't know if they like that answer.
a great experience so far.
Dame, Jamal Collier from ESPN. Welcome again to Milwaukee. Kind of just coming off that, like you talked about wanting, obviously, to win and winning in your career, and you come into a situation where, you know, you and Giannis together, championship and stuff is the expectation. Just kind of curious how you sort of approach, how you looking at that? How you coming into this season? Are you excited about the opportunity to kind of show, you obviously been in the playoffs and seen on that level, but in that way, and especially also kind of considering the other teams in the East, Boston just made a trade. How do you feel about just the competition level there?
I mean, I think in this league, the competition level is always extremely high. Obviously, you have the media. They look at, you know, this guy went to this team, this guy went to that team, and those things jump off the page. But you just never know what can happen with injuries, and, you know, guys break out. Some teams are better than you expect. Like Denver won the championship last year. You know, nobody jumped out and said that last season. It was all the teams that looked better on paper. So for me, I think I'm approaching this season like just doing the work. You know, obviously, in my career, my life, I've never been a part of any situation that was not an underdog. You know, from my AAU program, I played for my neighborhood AAU program. I went to Weber State. I get drafted to Portland. Like, you know, I've done a lot more overachieving in my career than, like, living up to it, you know, what was expected. So I'm excited about that. I think, once again, at my age and at this stage of my career, you know, I think it came at the perfect time because I'm prepared for, you know, a situation like this. And Giannis and I spoke, and it was, you know, I think the focal point.
Y'all think Milwaukee niggas buying his album? Also, Portland niggas wasn't buying his album either, so maybe not.
That conversation was just that.
And there's not even no dick suck. Like, I like his music a little bit. I haven't heard the most recent album, or I think the one before that. But his first album I heard.
Yes.
And I liked it. Wasatch Front, generational song.
It looks good, you know, and it's an attractive
Reminiscing
thing.
on
it.
it. Come on, man. I know that shit. Don't play with me.
The work has to get done. And, you know, I think that's one thing that we're extremely like-minded about that I've learned in the last couple of days is, like, when it comes to, you know, having some success, I'm a person that wants to get in the mud and make sure that I'm doing the things that's going to, you know, earn us that right, you know, to have that type of success, and he is too. So it made me feel good to know that he thinks that way, you know, because I almost get a little bit nervous about people around the situation having expectations and, you know, how the people that's involved in it are going to carry it. So we got on the same page about that right away. So I think that's the approach.
Dame, Dario Melendez, WISN. Welcome to Milwaukee. You kind of mentioned a little bit entering your past training camps, player personnel question, system question. You're coming in now. You're playing with a bona fide superstar for the first time really in your career. No offense to CJ LaMarcus, but that's got to be refreshing, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it was our first time in Kyoto.
Oh yeah, it was a whole new thing for us.
Was Giannis top 75? Because I was about to say an all-time player. I mean, he still is an all-time player, whether he was all top 75 or not. But he said superstar. That's an all-time nigga right there.
You know, people always say I'm excited, but I'm really excited, you know? Like, it's my whole career has been off the dribble threes, pick and roll, pull up threes, contested, you know, double team, trapped. And I'm just curious to see how that can be possible with a player as dominant as he is. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to play with him. I'm excited.
They'll still do it, my nigga. They did it. We had KD on the team, and they were still doing it to Steph. Niggas did not care, bro. So I don't know if it's going to change because, like, I don't know, but they'll still do it. Niggas, they'll still do it.
Excited for the opportunity to be freed up and to be able.
Jesus could come down and be on the court, and niggas will still trap Steph and Curry in the pick and roll. They do not care.
To, you know, have more space and opportunity.
Niggas never cared, yo.
So it's gonna be fun, man. It's as far as the system.
I hope this video works.
You know, I know my coach of my first 9 years of my career is on this staff as well.
If
Terry
this shit
Stotts.
work, please drop a like for me.
And we
Thank
joked
you.
a little bit, you know, when I
I
ran
really
into
been
him
fighting
about some of
with this shit for a hell
sets
long.
that, you know, is gonna be put in. So I was like, cool, you know. I think it's gonna be a good time. But to answer your question, playing next to Giannis is gonna be a great opportunity that I've never had before. And once again, where I'm at right now, I think it came at the perfect time.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. You know Drew Holiday's reputation as a defender.
Yeah.
What has your approach been to that side of the ball?
Shit, he experienced it firsthand, nigga. Nigga, Drew had his ass in a straitjacket.
Now that you're going to be in his spot, do you see that necessarily changing for you at all?
I think when you come into the NBA, you know, it's
He not a cone, but he not that far above a cone.
especially as a young player that plays a lot, I think the place where you struggle the most is on the defensive end of the floor. And I don't think it's always a lack of desire. I think it's just not knowing terminology. Sometimes you just running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You don't know what to expect. You don't know
Steph became first team all Steph. I ain't gonna lie though.
tendencies. You don't
He got strong as hell. That shit helped.
know personnel.
I had him as depoy, or at least defensive team. The year we won a title, or the last year we won a title, for the first like 2 or 3 months of the season, I was like, listen, first team all defense, first team all Steph.
And I think if you know, really take a look into my.
Once he hit that slump, it wasn't the same though. But like before that, and in the playoffs even, but before that, you don't win defensive team awards for the playoffs though. But before that, first team all Steph, yo.
Aggression defensively, you'll see that I've gotten better year after year after year after year, even if you look into it the last couple of seasons. And I think the main reason for that is understanding what's going on. I know players around the league. I understand calls. When I hear a call gets called out, we all run the same types of actions. We all use the same terminology, so I'm able to be ahead of it and understand what's happening. Also playing on a defensive-minded team this year, I think it'll make it more simple. Like Coach Griff was saying, I understand where to be on the floor. I understand how to rotate. I understand how to play team defense, but I'm a competitor. And at the very least, on that end of the floor, I'm going to compete. You know, I'm not going to come in here and beat Drew Holiday. I think, in my personal opinion, I think he's the best defender on the perimeter. But it's going to be it's not going to be what people just throw out there loosely. You know, I think is in the past it's been something where people just say, "Oh, Dame, you know, on defense he's this, on offense," but you know, the people that I play against to tell you, like, I ain't a pushover. You know what I'm saying? And I've also had a lot of responsibility on the offensive end for my entire career.
Will they say that? Y'all think they would say that? I watched a lot of Dame. I don't know if I would say that.
And I think
I haven't watched as much in the past couple of years, though. I'm not gonna lie. But before that, so I mean, maybe he said in the past couple of years, so maybe that is true. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Playing with the kind of players I'll be playing with here, it'll also give me an opportunity to, you know, show myself much better on the defensive end of the floor.
Scott Grodzki, CBS Milwaukee. Obviously, we
Imagine this nigga become two-way Dame. That'd be crazy.
talked a lot about you and Giannis, some of the other key guys in this team. Yeah. How do you see yourself fitting in with guys like Chris, Brooke? Obviously, you've played with Pat before as well.
I think I'm familiar with the way they play. I think that's the best way to tell you is offensively, I'm going to make the right play.
Wesley Matthews still on his team?
Once we get on the floor, I think I pick up things pretty quickly. You know, I see what guys like to do. I see how I can fit myself in, you know, with the guys around me. I've always done that. And I don't think this would be any different, you know, but it's nothing that I can tell you specifically, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I just know how to react to what's going on around me. And once we get on the floor, you know, I'll find my spots and I'll find my spaces to where I got to, you know, be myself, but how I can be, you know, a compliment to those guys as well.
Hi, Dave. Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Radio. Welcome to Milwaukee.
Appreciate it.
You've become known throughout the league for, you know, finding a small market team and making that a home for 10 years, and that's something I know you are very proud of as well. So
Absolutely.
What is the experience like for you to now enter a different small market and kind of go through that process again? Where do you even start?
I think it's...
He entering the state of the cheesehead niggas.
It just feels familiar. You know, it doesn't feel like a crazy environment. You know, it's like I left one small market to another one. And one thing I can say is the people that I went to work with every day in Portland are what made that environment one that I felt comfortable making home, you know, for as long as I did. And I think the fact that this feels similar, you know, you come in here, everybody's like family, everybody's cool, everybody's around each other, they hang out here. You know, that's the type of environment that I've known my entire career. So I think it'll only make it an easier and, you know, more comfortable transition. Thank you.
You will see some snow, just so you know.
Oh, I know.
It will be coming, but there's lots of fun things you can do. Thank you. Welcome to Milwaukee. Go out this way.
I knew they didn't like that answer. She was like, listen, there will be some snow. No, it's going to be hella snow. That shit is in the Midwest or mid something. It's in the middle of the country pretty much, right? It's going to be hella snow. But fuck it. How y'all feel about that shit? Shout out Free Dawkins. How y'all feel about that shit? I'm excited about the season. I feel like I'm going to watch a lot more basketball. I've been watching pretty much just the Warriors for the past couple of years. Back when the Warriors was like the first 2 years we was in the finals of this era, because obviously, nigga, I'm like 26. I wasn't around for the first time. But that was when I was watching, well, and the years before that too. That was when I was watching my most basketball, where I was just like watching hella basketball. But then the Warriors happened, and then it was like there's nobody that's playing like these niggas, so it's not really like as entertaining to watch anybody else. Because I used to love watching the Spurs, but the Spurs ain't have Steph and Curry. Shit different. You know what I'm saying? Shit different, gang. Shit different. So I think this year I got a lot of like teams that I want to watch. Like I love watching LaMelo Ball. I fuck with him. I'm obviously gonna watch a lot of the Warriors. I want to see I want to see what Portland does. I'm curious. I definitely want to see what Wemby does. I want to see Washington because of Jordan Poole. I want to see if he could go there and average 30 because I think he could. Because he was averaging, when he was starting for the Warriors, he was averaging like 26 or something. Now, it didn't lead to that many wins, but he was averaging like 26 or something when he started. So, I think on the worst team where he's going to get to do whatever the fuck he want, he'll average like somewhere between 25 to 30. I don't know how many wins that shit going to lead to, but he should do that. I'm also a Nets fan, so I'm going to be watching a lot of Nets basketball. Listen, okay? We don't got to talk about me being a Nets fan. It is what it is. Okay? I've been through enough trauma as a Nets fan. I do not need to hear it. Okay? Fuck. Anyway, who else? Don't care to watch Houston. Oh, I might watch Dallas. I might watch a little bit of Dallas. Or at least keep up with what they're doing. Don't really care to watch Memphis. Don't really care to watch Atlanta. Might watch some Orlando. Don't care to watch the Magic. Don't care to watch the Heat. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the Kings. I'm tripping. Definitely gonna watch the Kings, which is wild to say. You know what's wild too? I was a Kings fan too. Like when I first started watching basketball, which was like a little bit over a decade ago, I was a fan of hella teams. It got whittled down obviously to just pretty much the Warriors and the Nets throughout the decade and stuff. But like I used to be a Kings fan. Like when niggas had DeMarcus and then they drafted Isaiah Thomas, I was there. And then, they kept doing dumb shit. And then when they traded DeMarcus, I was like, all right, I'm done. I was finished. But now they good. So I'm excited to watch them too. I think that's it. At least that's everybody I can think of off the top of my head. Y'all let me know who y'all excited to watch for the season. Kind of what y'all think is going to happen. I still think the Warriors going to win the championship. I think it is going to depend on how big of a step Jonathan Kuminga could take. And I think Chris Paul's going to help him a lot with that, as well as Sark too. I think they're both going to help him take that big step. But I'm really excited because we had the best starting lineup in the league. Well, the best 5-man lineup just overall in the league last year. And it was just that our bench was so goddamn ass that it offset it that much. You know how ass your bench got to be for you to have the best starting lineup and it just being the best 5-man lineup overall, and then your bench being that ass that our record was what it was? Like, that generationally ass bench. Generationally ass bench. But yeah, I still think they could get it done. Oh, I want to watch the Nuggets too. I love watching Jokic. He's so tough. I'm going to watch some Milwaukee, too. I'm curious. See what they're going to end up being like. But I'm doing so much goddamn talking. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the Dame trade and just the NBA offseason overall. I haven't done no NBA content on this channel in years. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Hope y'all niggas doing well. You feel me? I know Milwaukee fans hype as hell because they did a parade for this nigga. So y'all let me know how y'all feeling. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Like the video. I'd appreciate it if you did. Comment your thoughts, like I said a second ago. Share it with somebody else. We can all just sit and kick it together and watch this shit. And subscribe, baby. Please subscribe, man. Fuck. I should say that in the beginning of the video. Fuck. And turn your notifications for the culture. They gonna buy like vultures. RP takeoff. And I'll holla at y'all niggas in the next one, man. Peace. Be safe.